What did you say?
Did you want me to make you something to eat?
Yeah.
All right. Come in here and talk to me.
See what I was saying? Cheri tells me, hey, can you come in here and talk to me? You want me to talk? Or you to talk?
You can talk.
What?
And
There's nothing for me to say.
Okay, I'm the talker anyway. I need to clean up. I still, clean up the living room area. We just have a bunch of stuff to do. And then we also have stuff. We have a potential client that we need to possibly meet with tomorrow. I didn't tell you about that?
No.
Somebody contacted me and she needs a commercial. And so this is the one who makes the shoes. So she needs a commercial. I'm not quite sure of any of the details, but I did tell her that I think it'd be best if we talk to her.
Okay. As you noticed, when she started talking, she did less of what she came in here to do. So I'm going to get rid of those boxes that are over there. Those bananas too. I want to start on the garage because one of those things is you have to consider when trash day is. And I want to have the trash can, do it close to the time when I can fill up the trash and then they come and remove the trash, right?
Do you want lemonade too?
Yeah. Cheri's been cutting out my sugar a lot, so the lemonade is more lemony than sugary.
Sometime in the past week, we released a video, and it was of you playing the piano and us talking about vocal melodies. And it was really weird, and I've just been having these feelings like, A, I've never actually seen myself sing on video, I don't think. And I've certainly never let anybody else see that process. Only the two of us see that.
Well,
and
whatever.
Judge it and...
whatever, A lot of people aren't on YouTube showing their life. But this is how we get through this, whatever, I guess we call it quarantine, that we've been in for all of these months. Hey, Google, what time is sunset?
Today, the sun will set at 6:49 p.m.
We don't have much water, but I do want to change the filters and I have to flush it. And one of the steps is to flush 30 gallons of filtered water. And it's getting close to sunset. So I'm going to just try to do that anyway because we do have other methods of getting purified water. I have to put these two flush valves here. Then I install the new cartridges. Dirty water comes out of here. This is the input water from wherever my water source is. I can connect it to the hose or directly to the faucet. I use this really long hose for the wastewater so I could put it wherever I want it to go out to. This thing that you see from time to time is something I altered, so at the bottom I can drain water out. This is what I'm going to use for the point when I get to using those first 30 or flushing out that first 30 gallons. With the first flush, I'm just getting the carbon dust out, so I just need to flush it until I see clear water. I'm going to use this tube for the flushing.
Heit was kind enough to break down these boxes for me. I sure appreciate it. So he's just gonna break down all of these boxes for me. Remember, oh y'all, the stuff is still in the middle of the floor where we had the grocery delivery, and I literally left those boxes sitting right there with the dry goods, but that's all right. We will get to it. So anyway, what have you been up to today? I hear the water running.
Flushing the system for the new cartridges.
Yeah, how much does it cost? Like if somebody wanted to be able to do this for themselves, how much money are we talking?
So with the system we got it for aquarium, right? And that water needs to be crystal. Like it needs nothing, right? For coral and fish to survive. So if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me to drink, right? But I was looking up new cartridges, and it was probably about $80 for a system with the cartridges in them already. So if I wanted to, I could just buy a whole nother system instead of the individual cartridges, because it comes out to about the same, you know.
So this is $80 for us to have our drinking water, but how long is that going to last?
So the cartridges last like 6 months. It says 6 months. I usually do it around, depending on how often I'm using it, right? So if I'm not using it that much, I may go over 6 months. But then the deionization part, it changes color, and once it changes colors, then you have to replace it.
If we want to break that down in price, it'd be $80 for 6 months. How much is that a month? So 3 months is like $40.
A little over $10, right?
So a little over $10 a month. So do you spend, people, more than $10 a month on that bottled water, and then you have all that garbage you got to take out?
Right. And the cost of the water from the city is
negligible for the most part. Most of the water bill is really kind of like the sewage, isn't it? And for garbage pickup. Yeah. Sewage processing, garbage pickup. The actual water itself is not that much of it.
And I do like test it. So I have a TDS, I guess it's a monitor. I don't know what it's called. Some tool for TDS to see like the solids that are in the water, right? So that's a good gauge. It doesn't check all for, you know, the viruses and stuff like that. But, you know, if that water is good enough for, you know, the fish and everything, it's good enough to be able to drink. But you still have to make sure. So, you know, I had to look it up to make sure if I do oral DI that it's going to remove a lot of viruses and bacteria.
Right, because we're still on this stupid boil order. It's crazy. People buy water, but the water that they're buying is like when you test it and they look at what's in it, the total dissolved solids and stuff like that, it's not like that water is highly purified.
But the best we found was Kroger water. Kroger water was pretty low.
Right, because we literally tested it ourselves.
Yeah, we tested multiple types of water. Mm-hmm. Maybe we can do it again if you go to the comments and let us know that's what you want to see.
Right. And I mean, so here you are buying bottled water. You're thinking, now, I mean, it's good enough to drink. I'm not saying it's going to make you sick, but if you think you're drinking something purified, think again. Because Nestle and all these other companies, like they're literally pulling up to places with water and just sucking the water out of there.
Right. And they're adding salt and all this other stuff too. You know, you may or may not want in water, but you don't exactly know what they're adding or what's in there. So when you're testing for the solids, then that stuff is going to come up. Who wants salt in their water?
Well, it makes the water taste a little bit better, right? They're experts at how good it tastes. But in addition to that, that's what I was going to say. It also makes you a little bit more thirsty.
So this part of the process is the riskiest, right? So there's this blue tube that the clean water comes out of, right? I can't see in the tube. So it's probably better if we just replace the tube, right? Mm-hmm. Up until this point, you know that the water is going to be very clean, and then we can still test it once it comes out. There's
a certain amount of just runoff you should do when you start running the water. You know, so you're not going to take the first little bit that comes out after the tube is connected. You let it run off for a little bit, and then you can start collecting it. I think he thinks this is very fun to do.
No, I don't.
Well, it's one of those things where we don't enjoy it, but we do it. You know, dialysis and water treatment is really key to making sure that, you know, the patients can receive their treatments and stay healthy. So that was one of my first careers, actually, was dialysis. And I learned all about water then, and then I wound up going on the corporate side and working for a dialysis manufacturer. That's kind of how I learned everything I know about water. So he's finished.
Cheri has to sweep.
Yeah, no problem with that. One of the things I really am going to do is just, I want to deep clean this entire room because I'm going to get those bags, but I'm not going to do it before I have all these deliveries because I've got a bunch of deliveries coming soon with just different stuff that we needed for household items. When everything's put away, I want to do a deep clean of this entire room, including the windows, because I noticed in one of the videos, I'm like, why do the windows look so dirty? Maybe because you haven't actually washed them. But yeah, I just want to pull the room together because we can't even talk about the furniture that I was asking for when the room is looking like this. You finished already? Oh.